4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Going Mach 5 podcast. I'm your host, Rashad Kenneth Thompson. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you've been here before, welcome back. And if you haven't been here, welcome. Okay, now, we're in the $18 million studio, and sitting across from me is an honorary New York Knick, even though she doesn't know their names. Which is
Patrick
crazy.
Ewing.
Yeah, name another one.
Carmelo Anthony.
They didn't play together at the same time, but okay. Name someone less famous. Camille, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
Are you great?
I am great.
You got me an apple.
I did.
Thank you. I have misophonia. You know what that is?
No, what?
The sound of people chewing and like drives me crazy. I physically can't deal with it.
You did tell me that before.
So to spare the 4 people that listen to this podcast, I'm not going to bite into that apple on the microphone, but I'm just going to assume that everything is in order. Go ahead and praise me for the new setup.
Wow.
Praise me. Stroke my ego, please.
So
tell me how great it looks.
Basically, you have turned your
$18 million studio
into
$100 million studio.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yes. Yes, I did. Just doing my best.
And your best is decent. Really great. Like, respectfully, I'm like, in a minute, you're going to have to start renting this out to other podcasters.
Absolutely not.
I would like to book my time right now.
I actually have thought about peek behind the curtain, technically. I've thought about the idea of taking, and I kind of mentioned it to Alex when he was here, Avery's husband. I said, if you build a set to the point where it's not too specific, and I feel like this set is very, very specific to what I'm trying to do, you can just flip that to a different logo.
Exactly.
You got a whole different podcast.
Listen, take the box things off this microphone.
The box things, yep.
Put a little fabric to cover up the red and black. Take the pops off, and you got your first customer.
Yeah. What's your favorite cereal?
Honey Nut Cheerios.
You have terrible taste.
Thank you.
It's awful taste. It's so funny because you could have said anything and I would have said you have awful taste. Honey Nut Cheerios are great.
I know.
I love them.
I mean, I really felt sorry for you if that's how you felt.
You feel sorry for me?
Like, I have a giant box in my pantry right now.
What's your top 3?
Honey Nut Cheerios, Apple Cinnamon Cheerios, and Honey Bunches of Oats with
You
almonds.
lame as fuck. You're lame as shit. Those all taste good.
I know.
But the fact that those are your 3 favorites.
What? It was supposed to be like some sweet cereal.
Some variety. Say Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Say Cap'n Crunch. Say.
Gross.
Excuse me?
Captain Crunch was gross.
Cap'n Crunch is from the heavens. And
I'm not a big peanut butter person.
Cap'n Crunch doesn't taste like peanut butter.
Well, that's what they said on the box, I think. I don't know.
So are you just saying stuff? Oh, it's just like 3-point foul shoot or something like that. Yeah, I'm not going to quote you on that either.
No, but I do know I tried it once and it had like whatever that flavor is. I don't like it.
That's fair. I'm not going to tell you what to like.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is good.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch is great. I got to be honest. Cereals are not the way they were like from when we were kids. They started adding marshmallows to everything. As a kid, I would have been cool with that.
Of course.
Now, absolutely the fuck not.
Because what's crazy is like they add the marshmallows, but the cereal actually doesn't taste like anything. So it's basically just
sugar.
Yep.
It's kind of problematic, if I'm being honest with you. But hey, I don't have children, so
yet.
I don't. Yeah, one day. I'm gonna have me a little Rashad running around, or a little Rashida running around.
No.
And,
no.
You don't get to say that.
On behalf of your future wife, I veto
It's gonna be
Rashida.
so funny how like welcoming and loving she is of that, and you're just like, I'm gonna go ahead and speak for her. No, speak for yourself. If I'm doing my thing and I say I want to name my daughter after me, she gonna be like, yes, sir.
Okay.
When I say doing my thing, I mean taking care of the family. I don't think there will be as much resistance.
Do you really feel like you need to have a child named Rashida, specific, like, and that's not really after you. It would have to be Rashada.
That's not a name.
Oh, says who?
But says me.
Got it.
But I will say this. I truthfully, all kidding aside, have no desire to have a daughter named Rashida at all.
God.
But it's not off the table. Like if I have nothing but daughters, one of them gonna be named Rashida. That's just the way it's gonna be.
You know what? God bless you.
I mean, it is what it is. Anyway, I already have my kids' names picked out, but we'll see what the gender is. Hey, how many genders are there?
Oh my. I'm not trying to get canceled. I'm gonna sit right here.
No, you won't get canceled. No one listens to this, first of all. And second, the answer is very easy because it's science.
Scientifically, I believe that there are two genders.
Believe? Or
because
factually?
There are people who will say otherwise. So I'm saying, you asked me how many genders there are. So there are two.
Sure.
Well, I guess technically there are three.
Okay.
In that there are, what do they call them? Intersex.
Intersex, yes.
So 3.
Well, from all the medical literature I've read, there are 2, but hey, who knows?
Well, I mean, that's why I'm just like, that third one,
I don't know.
It does have its own categorization.
Maybe there are 15. Mistaken. I don't know. Maybe I'm psyoped.
No.
I don't know.
If
that's not a hill that I die on.
It's like I'm not gonna argue
right. I don't care
about it, but I do feel like you got one set or you got the other.
What are your pronouns?
What? She? Now I'm like, wait, what? She? Like,
there you go.
I am a woman, and I would like to tie that in a bow and close that conversation.
Just go ahead and say default settings. That's what I say. I just say default settings. I said that around a friend of mine who's gay, and he was like, "What are your pronouns?" And I was like, "Default settings." And he howled laughing.
It's good. That's funny.
I'm the funniest person on the planet. So you're an honorary New York Knick. How did that happen?
You bestowed that title on me after the way that I so amazingly described.
Is that the word you would use? I feel like you did your absolute best to embarrass yourself.
Embarrassed? I thought I did my best to share something with you.
You didn't embarrass yourself. I'm just with you. You did a great job, actually. And I don't know if
somebody in the comments knew what I was talking about.
Well, here's the problem. I was getting ready to say, did you look at the comments on the YouTube short?
No.
Someone else said a completely different thing. They said a completely different. They referenced a completely different New York Knicks.
What did they say?
They were like, "Oh, she's talking about this game in this moment," and I'm over here like,
"Was it a championship game?"
I don't remember. I just remember the comment being so like overtly silly that I was like,
"Were they being serious?"
Yeah, they were being serious.
I gotta go look at it.
Yeah, you do. Anyway, you're almost not in Georgia or not in Atlanta.
What do you mean by that when you ask me that question?
Because you said something about trying out for a cheerleading team and you didn't make the team. When you sent me that email and you were like, I almost wasn't in Atlanta because I tried out for his cheerleading team. And then parenthetically, did not make the team.
Right.
Do you know how I fucking laughed so hard at your failure? Jesus, it was so funny.
Well, I included that for you. It was a gift.
I appreciate it so much. Happy belated birthday to me.
Exactly.
Tell me the story. I want to hear all of it. Don't leave any details out.
Okay. So I moved here my sophomore year of high school.
From where?
New York.
What part?
Upstate.
What city?
Schenectady.
Jesus. Go ahead. It's not a real place, by the way.
It is very much a real place, and it is growing. It's up and coming. Okay,
you're going to get on my podcast and just make up words. I got to be honest. I knew you were coming to record tonight. I did not know you were going to be a stone cold liar.
Wow.
I believed in you.
What did I lie about?
Schenectady or whatever you said.
First of all, didn't you put the damn skyline on the last one? So you know that bitch is there. Okay.
That's Guilderland.
Oh, you did Guilderland.
Yes.
That's right.
Guilderland is a real place.
Schenectady is the county that Guilderland
Schenectady is
in.
like a city in the Wizard of Oz. It's not a real place.
You know what? We also have a city in Albany called Shenandoah. Some people pronounce it Shenandoah. So that's the word. But
lie after lie after lie.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. I interrupted your story for good reason.
It's so my freshman year, I was, I did soccer in the fall. Soccer is not I'm not really good at soccer. Track is where I was a runner. I excelled. So I did fall soccer, trying to stay in shape, and then track, winter indoor, and spring outdoor. And so my sophomore year, I was like, okay, well, I don't have a fall sport because I was not going to make the soccer team again. Like, I was not good at soccer.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a lot of friends on the track team who were cheerleaders. There were a couple of them, actually. And we used to do like the little jumps and track practice and all of that stuff. And so in my mind, that meant that I had what it takes to be a cheerleader. So I needed a fall sport. And so I said, okay, I'll try out for cheerleading. Mind you, I didn't add the Atlanta part in. Over the summer, that's when I find out my family wants to move to Atlanta. So cool, fine. We're going to move winter, spring, something like that. So anyways, so that's that. Go into the practice and I'm like, okay, or to the tryouts. Thought I did good. But I will be the first to tell you, I have rhythm, but I am not a dancer. Like, okay. I'm not. Like, I have great rhythm, but choreographed movement, never trained as a cheerleader. I was always a runner, soccer. That was it. Somehow I thought I was going to make this team. When I did not make the team, I was devastated and embarrassed and just knew my friends were going to judge me. So I literally told my parents, I was like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and move to Atlanta early so I can start school since they start in August and we start in September. So I left 2 weeks after the tryouts because I was so embarrassed to not make a team that I literally have never trained for that sport before in my life. Never. But I just, I could do a herky and I thought I could be on the team. Yeah.
Well,
thank you for not finding my story funny at all.
Well, it's just sad. That's really fucking sad. Like,
yeah, at the time,
and I
absolutely.
almost kind of relate to it. So that's why I was kind of like, I don't want to make fun of her for that.
Okay. What I will say, and then I would like to hear your story if you're willing to share, is that you're absolutely right. For many years, I thought about that and really felt very sad for myself.
Mm-hmm.
But, as somebody who is always trying to grow and heal and evolve, it's like, I can see the ridiculousness of it and find humor in it at this age.
It's good that and you're what, 22?
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
God bless you.
You're very welcome. I know the feeling of trying out for something. And how old were you when you tried to do it?
15, I believe. 14 or 15.
We were about the same age.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried out for the baseball team. And I didn't make it. To this day, I feel like there was a mistake. I hold on to that. Like, me and another guy had very similar names. Maybe his name was Rashida. I don't know. But we had similar names and he was utter garbage, but he made it and I didn't.
Yeah.
So either he was being molested by one of the coaches. Yikes. Or I don't know why my brain jumped immediately to that. No, I know why, because I'm a fucked up person. Or maybe he was the coach's son or he knew someone. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But I was better than that kid. I was. And I didn't make it. And it was kind of like anything that needed like extra effort, like as far as you got to get this paperwork and this paperwork. I was 14, 15. I wasn't trying to do that. Mm-hmm. So when they were like, hey, you got to go get a physical, I'm like, I'm not doing that extra shit. But this was the first time I actually went and got the physical.
Okay.
And I tried out for the team.
Like,
and
you cared.
Yeah, I tried out for the team and I stayed after and I was taking extra swings. And I remember one of the coaches actually came up to me afterwards, after practice, and was like, hey, what's your name? And I told him my name. And it's funny. The funnier story is him looking at me, taking all this extra effort after practice and being like, hey, what's your name? So I can put you on this cut list. That's funny as shit to me.
But that might not necessarily be how it went.
No. Yeah, I just like to
allow you this story.
Well, thank you. I just like to bank on, like, he just saw a kid that he could molest and that's what he did. I'm gonna have to blank that word
dark.
out. I'm pretty sure.
So dark.
The only reason I go to that now is because I know how many PDF files are out here.
Yeah.
And even though technically that's not a PDF file, it is a child predator.
Yeah.
So yeah. Maybe I wasn't molestable. I don't know. I think I'm pretty molestable. Right? I don't know.
Let me tell you something. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching that.
I think I was a cute kid.
There is no way I can answer that question.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty molestable now, though, right?
I mean, I don't know. You seem like your no is a no. Okay.
But maybe my no is just like, no. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. I cannot.
Man, anyway, this ain't going nowhere on TikTok. TikTok is about to mute the hell out of that. I posted a clip from Kay talking about kids getting hurt, and TikTok suppressed the hell out of that.
I mean,
3 views.
Listen,
it got 3 views. And you know, the 3
was you.
The 3 were me, Kay, and like I think she reposted it or somebody reposted it, and then it got 1 more view. Dang. And I had to file an appeal, and then it got my appeal was granted. Yeah, because they were just like, oh, he ain't saying nothing crazy. But
I mean, it wasn't crazy, but it was definitely, people. I feel like people get more easily offended these days than ever before, and so yeah, there's gonna be somebody who said, "How dare you like to see children being injured? You are the worst human being. You shouldn't have a job. Where do you work? Let's I work at a daycare.
I work at a daycare. That's where I work.
People get offended and take it to the extremes nowadays.
And I honestly, it wasn't even people. Like TikTok just kind of got out ahead of it and was just like, no.
Because they know how people can be.
Yeah, that's true. That's why, like, when YouTube, it's a whole different conversation. I'm not going to go into that. Let's just say there are people who are doing very terrible things and getting exposed for them, and YouTube is taking the side of them because legally it makes more sense for them to do that. Instead of them possibly facing lawsuits and being sued and losing money, they're just like, let's just delete the video. Or let's just terminate the channel that does it. Even though these people are doing reprehensible things, you can kind of read between the lines of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I get the politics of it.
Hold on. You're saying they're taking the side of the person who's committing the deplorable act.
Right.
In that they're saying this video shouldn't be up, they have rights, that sort of thing.
Because they don't want to face the idea of a bullying or harassment lawsuit. So instead of like going through each and every video, and at that point, or in privacy as well, at that point, it's just, okay, we're just going to delete the video. And if your channel does it too much, we'll delete the channel. It's crazy world we live in. Like I said, I get the politics of it, and maybe there are more things at play that I don't know about, but whatever. Is Georgia winning?
That's such a good question. The last time I checked, we were winning. As I told you, it was 17-0. And by Georgia, he's talking about the University of Georgia.
What other Georgia could I be talking about?
I don't know. I just wanted to make sure it was real clear. People be trying to say Georgia State is a thing now and Georgia Tech is a thing. And
Georgia is Georgia. That's just it.
I mean, you're not going to get an argument out of me.
No, I know you agree. I'm really just talking to like people who would say something as foolish as that.
Okay. 23-0 at halftime. That's wild. Go Dogs.
It would be so funny if like that's just a snapshot of that score.
Oh my God.
And then like this episode comes out and it's 24-23.
Oh, the Super Bowl.
I was about to say, it sounds like me at the Super Bowl in 2017. I wouldn't, everyone knows how much I love the Falcons.
Your tweets about the Falcons be wild sometimes.
Yeah. I mean them too. I think I can't say what one of my tweets was because that tweet actually got suppressed. But I basically said, I don't mean to sound dramatic, but I would blank, 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 blank if it meant the Falcons win the Super Bowl.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Yeah. It wasn't my proudest moment. That was one of those where I was like, hey, reel that back in. Like, that's a little too much. But whatever. Okay, dogs are winning. Falcons play tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll see how that goes.
Good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it. When that Super Bowl did happen, everyone was like, Rashad, we know you coming to the Super Bowl party. I said, absolutely not. I watched the Falcons Super Bowl from this very room.
You poor thing.
I sat in a chair right there.
And I know that you had a great time that first half.
No, I didn't. I didn't react.
Oh.
When it was 28-3, I was like,
great.
I need 000 because I know my team. It's like your kids. You know your kids.
Yeah.
You know what your kids do.
That's how I feel about Georgia.
You know their tendencies. And I'll tell you this, when it was 28-3 with a couple minutes left in the third quarter, I literally said out loud, I said this out loud. If Tom Brady comes back, he is the greatest quarterback of all time.
So it was you.
It was me who put that out in the atmosphere.
Wow.
Yeah. And he did come back. I think the bigger issue is a lot of Atlantans love to excoriate Matt Ryan for that Super Bowl. And I think a lot of it, one, I'm a Matt Ryan apologist. Matt Ryan can do no wrong. But also, one thing that I understand.
Didn't he leave the Falcons?
Yeah, he's gone. And he should have. I was glad when he left because they didn't do right by him. He deserves so much better. But I remember when I've talked to people who have watched that Super Bowl, other Atlanta fans, and they're like, it was Matt Ryan's fault. And I'm like, how many times have you watched the Super Bowl? And they're like, well, I can't watch that. Exactly. You watched it one time. And now, you're going to love this. And now the Mandela effect has happened.
People don't remember.
And now people think Matt Ryan played poorly. Matt Ryan had a perfect QBR in the first half. Camille, what's better than perfect?
Nothing.
Thank you. He was 7 for 7, 100% passing in the second half. He gave you a 25-point lead.
Yeah.
And he doesn't play defense.
Yeah, I was like, how in the world could that be the quarterback's fault when the lead was lost?
I gave you a 4-score lead.
Yeah.
And you couldn't keep it.
Right. But somehow
it's somehow Matt Ryan's fault. Well, he should have done this. He should have done that. All right, cool. I knew you would like that segue. Mandela effect. Do you feel like that's a hot take to say that you believe that exists? Because I don't think it is. I think it's a very cold take. A lot of people believe in that.
I was just filling out the form, bro.
What form are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Just sharing information.
What Mandela effect have you experienced?
The one about the Bernstein Bears is wild to me.
What does that explain? That
the spelling of the Bernstein Bears, like
Berenstein,
whatever.
Oh, I thought that was the.
So how do you think it's spelled?
Brenstein.
Apparently, in this timeline, it is spelled Stain. And
Berenstain?
Exactly. I was like, that literally makes zero sense. Literally
it's not
makes
spelled
zero
that
sense.
way.
Let me.
I will flip this fucking table over.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you. Let me see. And then there's another one that's like.
My blood pressure's going up right now. I can feel it.
Let me see. So there's another one that Fruit of the Loom, their logo back in the day. Do you remember what it was?
It's like a bowl of fruit, right?
It was the cornucopia with the fruit coming out of it, I think.
Very great use of that word.
And thank you. Look at this.
I don't believe this.
Let me tell you, I swear to God.
I don't believe this.
I don't either. I do not either.
That's not real.
But what they're saying is that it never had the cornucopia, I believe. Or it's one of the two. It's either it never had the fruit or it never had the cornucopia. That's what they're saying now is the Fruit of the Loom logo. It's just like the fruit on the table. So yeah, those are just some things. And another one where the Mandela effect comes from is that people thought Nelson Mandela was dead. And yeah, like that he had died.
I've never thought that.
I did. There was this movie called Sarafina. I don't know if you remember Whoopi Goldberg was in it. It was based on the apartheid in South Africa.
I do recall
and all of that. And my recollection of that movie was that she was writing letters to a dead Nelson Mandela. And then, I don't know, at some point it became she was writing letters to Nelson, who was in jail. I promise you. And there are people, that's where the name comes from. There is a whole group of us who remember Nelson Mandela being dead. Yeah.
By us, you mean, I'm trying to be nice. By us, you mean low IQ individuals?
Or just people from another timeline?
If you're from another timeline, then that means there's another version of you in this timeline?
I don't know. They said that at one point the timelines merged or something.
Who is they?
The internet, bro.
Look it up, bro. Do your research, bro.
I'm trying to find, I mean, you can, if you just Google Berenstein versus Berenstain, like you'll see all the different things.
Oh, I'm off that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Okay.
I believe that that's a conspiracy.
Okay.
Steen. That is what they are.
I mean, I agree. You're not going to get an argument out of me.
Jesus, that's
problematic.
The only Mandela effect I've ever had, just goes to the nerd that I am, was everyone for the longest said that the line was, Luke, I am your father. And that's not the line. It's never been the line.
It's not?
From Star Wars, no.
What is it?
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father, did he? He told me enough. He told me you killed him. No, I am your father. That's the line. It's not, Luke, I am your father.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to think that that is the line. And it's most certainly not.
Well?
Like, Luke, I am your father. Like, no.
Luke, That's the line.
No. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
I mean, I've actually probably only watched it one time ever. So
I watched it, that particular scene, I maybe watched in my life, maybe twice.
So why do you know that whole little monologue right there? Or not my monologue.
Because I remember watching that scene and saying, well, one, I just remember everything because I'm brilliant. But I remember watching that scene being like, it's not Luke, I am your father. And then I watched it again later and was like, oh, I need to be able to correct people. So let me memorize this shit.
That is wild.
Because people are saying the wrong things. And if I care about you, I want to correct you. If I don't care about you, I had a friend of mine who, what word did he say wrong? He said it, he was going to say it for years. Man, I can't remember what word it was, but he said something. He's not going to watch this, so I don't care. He pronounced Forrest Whitaker as Forrest Whitaker.
What?
Slim, you know who I'm talking about. He pronounced Forrest Whitaker as Forrest Whitaker. He said Forrest Whitaker. And I remember the first time I heard it. First time I heard him say it, because, you know, the name Forrest Whitaker doesn't really come up in everyday common conversation.
Correct, yeah.
I remember the first time I heard him say it, we were in the car. And can't remember the exact dialogue, but he was like Forrest Whitaker. And I remember I was driving. And I looked at Slim like, the fuck did he just say? And he just looked at me like, hey, don't worry about it.
I would have died.
Forrest Whitaker, he'll take your wits.
Well.
He will. Name another member of the Knicks that's not Carmelo.
No.
I said his name in the clip. I said to you in that clip, who was on the Knicks when you were a kid, and you said Patrick Ewing, and I said a name, and then I said Patrick Ewing, and then you said I only remember Ewing, but if you say another name, I'll remember it. I literally just said another name.
I didn't remember.
No, you did not.
Well, I meant like an additional name when I said another name.
Aside from Patrick Ewing, when you were a kid, the name that I said was the second most famous Knick.
What did you say?
John Starks.
Okay. Still doesn't.
You just accept Okay, sure.
It still doesn't ring a bell.
He was there. Whatever.
Like, okay. I honestly, I can't. I couldn't. I don't. That's not information that I've committed to memory in any way.
Why not?
I don't care.
You don't care about the Knicks?
No.
You're a fraud.
Am I?
Tell your dad. You know, call your dad right now. Tell him you don't care about the Knicks.
What time is it? He might be up. What time is it? But
9:46.
I don't. You know what? He is a private person.
So now. You know, you sound like those dudes who show up and get exposed for trying to meet kids. Call your wife and tell her what you're doing. Oh, she's working right now. I don't want to bring her into this. That's what you sound like.
Well, because also I recall my mom being the one who was more into watching basketball than my dad. So I also don't know that he would be the one to call and verify, because he also may have just taken the stance that I don't care.
Your mom is the one who had the opinion that Michael Jordan was very handsome.
Yes.
Me to goat.
Sounds like as opposed to.
It's goat behavior.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily find Michael Jordan attractive, but I also don't do guys. So
right. He was definitely handsome in his prime.
I'm cool. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't think he's handsome now?
He's all right.
That money. Hey, what if Michael Jordan asked you on a date?
It's just, what? If you did what?
What if Michael Jordan asked you on a date?
How old is he?
Does it matter?
A little bit.
What number matters? What's the cutoff?
Right now, like 50.
Oh, he's older than 50.
No shit.
So 51, no?
I mean, like.
I'm asking you the cutoff.
I don't have I would say, okay, maybe like 55 is I don't think I could do more higher than that. But also, if I met somebody and it was really like a vibe, you know.
I'm not talking about somebody. I'm talking about Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Oh, Michael Jordan is still a no.
What?
Yeah.
You wouldn't go on a date with the GOAT?
I don't think so.
Why not?
What are we gonna talk about? Like, what do we have in common?
That's why you go on the date.
Where are we finding common ground?
That's why you go on the date.
Compatibility.
You go on the date to find that out.
Yeah, I don't think so.
There's something else I was going to ask you. Have you spent all your lottery winnings yet?
Absolutely.
How much
all
was it?
$10 of it.
You could have invested that in the S&P 500. You'd have $48 right now. When you got your lottery winnings, did you go up on stage with a big check?
No, I just saw it in the app. It wasn't even a to-do.
Wait.
Yeah.
So you get a notification on your phone?
Literally. Oh, no, I got an email also. But if you have the app, because I had played in the app, and so it was just like, oh, you won, you're winning numbers. And I said, what? And then it was like I matched like one thing, so $5, and they just add it to your balance so you can gamble some more.
You only match one number?
I'm assuming so, yes.
And then they don't even cash you out. They're just like, let it ride.
Add it to your balance, yeah. Add it back to the balance. Just reinvest.
This wasn't Georgia Lottery.
Mm-hmm. This is Georgia Lottery app.
Fantasy 5?
What game was it? There was a while I was doing Powerball. Excuse me. Powerball and Mega Millions. So I guess technically those are nationwide games, but it was through the Georgia Lottery app.
I don't know a lot about the lottery. Do you play it a lot?
No.
Was that one of the few times?
Yeah. I mean, when I think about it, sometimes I'm like, oh, because there's a billboard that shows the jackpot as I'm getting off the exit to my house. And so I'm like, I could use a couple extra million. I'll play one time.
Of course.
Like I could use a couple million. So yeah, I haven't played in a while. I said I was going to.
You should.
Why? You got some good numbers? Did your parents ever do that back in the day?
Do what?
Like, if you went to the grocery store and your receipt was like 72.27, they'd be like, "Oh, I gotta play those numbers."
I'll say this: my mom might say it.
Mm-hmm.
She never actually fucking did it.
I don't know how often my mom.
Okay, hold on. Let me rephrase, because I can't act like I know everything that my mom did.
Mm-hmm.
She might have said it, and then maybe related to my dad,
and you went and played it,
and then nothing came from it.
Well, not all numbers hit.
I can't just assume. Yeah, she never did anything with it. She probably did. I'm sure there were a lot of secrets. Or as a child, I didn't view things through an adult lens.
I mean,
like, so I can look back on certain things and be like, oh, this is what was going on. Like, I remember the first time I heard the song Mary Jane. And I asked my mother, is this about marijuana?
How old were you?
I mean, I was a little bit older. 10, 11.
Okay.
She looked me right in my face and told me no.
No.
No jokey, no, it's not. And then I got older and was like, you couldn't let me have it? I was right.
Mm-mm.
Like, I was a kid who figured something out.
She didn't want you to be influenced.
And I wanted some validation.
Mm.
I should just go start doing cocaine. Now that I just remember
That's extreme.
Yeah, I got to punish her.
It's because that's who's going to get hurt.
I'm going to punish her by being a fuck up.
At your big age.
I think if I started straight with cocaine, I think I'd be functional. I think if I started with...
What the
Just follow me here.
Okay.
I feel like if I went straight to the rich white people drug, I would be more productive as a member of society than if I started with like crack and then like heroin and then went to cocaine.
Whoa. I don't think people go crack, heroin, cocaine, respectfully. I'm pretty sure it usually is cocaine to crack. If there's a direction.
It depends on who they are. It depends on their choices.
Like, imagine the
options.
person who has access to crack is not typically the same person who has access to cocaine.
No, I think it's the opposite.
Okay.
The person who has access to cocaine, like, he ain't gonna do crack.
Until
he need another high? Is that what it is? Those aren't even popular anymore. It's meth now. Yeah. I'm gonna
didn't they used to call it like ice or something?
Yes,
at one point?
they did. I say yes, they did. Just like yes, they did. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
It does sound familiar. Because crystal. It sounds like that would make sense.
Crystal meth, and now they just call it meth. I think they tried to rebrand it.
Yeah, because it was crystal methamphetamine.
It's
I can't say these words.
Fentanyl.
I gotta blur. I gotta beat all these words. Yeah.
Okay. But that fentanyl.
That's very dangerous.
I know.
Fentanyl is very dangerous.
What's so trippy to me is when you hear that they also give it in the hospital, and I'm like, it has to be a different version because it's also a form of a pain. I think it's an opiate, a pain management opiate, and they also use it in hospitals in some capacity.
Like more regulated?
Of course. I think it's given through like the IV bag or whatever, but still. Now, mind you, I don't know, again, if it's like the different spelling because it has a different chemical makeup or whatever. I just know I've heard like fentanyl and fentanyl. Fentanyl in hospitals, fentanyl on the streets that the children are overdosing from.
You're saying this word a lot.
I'm sorry. You're just like, bleep, 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 bleep.
Oh, we're like, I can't even see my time codes over there. So it's going to be what it's going to be.
Oh,
I don't care.
Okay.
No one watches this anyway. So
unrelated. Do you feel like 26 minutes has gone by?
Oh, the food is here.
Where is it?
It's right outside.
Dang. It's crazy.
I was just waiting for a stopping point before we, did it. And then I'm looking at the time and I'm just like, she can wait 10 more minutes.
You really don't fuck with me.
No, I'm insulting you on the podcast. I'm telling you that your time ain't worth shit to Michael Jordan. That's an indictment on Michael, not on you, by the way. But now that I think about it, those fries might be a little cold now.
You did it on purpose.
No, I didn't. I really didn't. I did not think, hey, those fries might get cold. Camille shook me down for French fries.
First of all,
just peel the curtain back a little bit.
I was told.
She threatened me.
I was told that we are allowed to request snacks as guests on the show. And I missed my opportunity the last time. So here I am again.
She requested food.
French fries are a snack.
I'm not going to have this debate with you.
They're on the sides menu.
Okay. There's some validity to what you're saying. That's why I have this look on my face. Go on.
That's it. That's all. And I love French fries. So you said yes. You could have said no. And then I'd just be like, okay, can I have some popcorn?
I never would have said no to you.
Oh.
I wouldn't have said that. Because let's just be all jokiness aside, all trolling aside, you're doing me a fucking favor. That's really what's going on here. You're doing me a favor. So this idea of, no, I'm not going to buy you any French fries. What kind of nigga do you think I am? You think I'm a bitch ass nigga?
Allegedly, apparently, I think you're a piece of shit.
Apparently.
According to what you said to me earlier.
So I think that you think I'm a piece of shit. I've insulted you. And now your food is outside.
Sitting in the cold.
He probably put it on the ground too.
Exactly.
They on that. Matter of fact, let's see if he did.
Did they send you a photo?
It's been out there for 24 minutes.
Yo, that's wild.
Let's see. I got to do it this way so that this camera doesn't pick it up. Because when this used to be right here, when I was framing the shot, it totally got picked up. Hold on, let's see. Did he put it? Oh no, that's you at the front door. Sure did.
On the ground.
Sure did.
At least he didn't knock and disturb.
I don't know if this camera will pick this up. Let me put you right there so the camera doesn't see it.
Where is it?
That's you.
I'm not in that.
Oh.
I was like,
it moved away. I'm not in that.
I was like, listen, I know I've been,
This is the look I was talking about. What the fuck you look like that for?
Because it wasn't ringing.
You were looking like...
The thing wasn't ringing. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, is it broken or not? That's what that was. I'm checking the score again. Just FYI. Oh, Texas scored 23-8 now.
And they went for 2 and they got it. Didn't I say 24-23? Isn't that what I said?
You did. This is all right. Anyways.
Do you know what would happen if I found out today and realized my gift that I could predict sports scores by saying them out loud? I did it with the Falcons already. If I found out, if I found out that I have that gift.
What would you do? Who's winning first?
What do you mean?
Which game are you going to call first?
I immediately did the thing that humans shouldn't do. And that's I immediately made it about myself. And I immediately thought about how I could benefit from it. And my brain very quickly went to, oh, I'm going to make so much money betting on games. And then I'm going to quit my job. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to buy Michael Jordan's house.
Where is his house located?
If you had to guess, where do you think the house is?
I mean, my guess would either be Chicago or North Carolina.
Very great guesses. Isn't it Chicago?
Okay.
It's got you can't not know that he lived there.
I mean, of course.
He has customized everything in that damn house.
Oh.
The gate says
like. Oh, okay.
23 in the jersey number, like font.
Love it.
I think that's why nobody will buy it.
Oh, he doesn't even live there anymore.
No.
Where is he now?
I don't know. Shit, anywhere he wants, really. That's Mike. I done gave him at least $800-900.
At least? I don't.
I'm just.
I mean, I don't know how much so sneakers cost, but
I wanted to exaggerate, and then part of my brain wanted to do like the real business side of it, where it was just like, well, he wouldn't get every dollar. So
that's right. That's right. I was like, because that number's kind of low.
No,
I think looking at the number of Jumpman things. Yeah. I'm seeing. That's what it's called, right?
Sure.
What's it called? Jumpman.
Logo, yeah, the Jumpman logo.
Yeah.
When he said Jumpman things, he's like, that's what it's called. Yeah, sure. That's why I said sure. I was letting you have it.
Yo.
Like, sure. I know what you meant.
Just say you don't fuck with me, Rashad, and just get it over.
I hope it's icicles. I hope it's crystal meth ice hanging off. Stalagmites hanging off the end of your fries when we get them. That's how cold they're going to be.
I believe 100% that you do. Because you're talking about a shakedown. Did he tell you how he said your fry? I said, when he asked me where I wanted them from.
Fake news. Fake news.
All I said is that pick whatever is most convenient so that they're still hot and crispy.
I do not.
When they arrive.
I do not like this. I do not like that you are taking your tone in text, which is not the tone that it was in text. And you're saying,
how you gonna tell me what tone?
Because I know how to read. And when that tone was, nigga, I want these hot and ready when I get there.
That's not the tone.
Just disgusting.
First of all, that was not my tone. You know that I'm a very polite texter.
You're a polite texter when you're not being sassy. You're a very sassy person.
I mean, that's like my overall
and you're very passive aggressive.
Absolutely. I know. I'm working on it, but it's
Are
tough.
you?
A little bit.
I've seen no
recognize
progress. No progress at all. In the years I've known you.
I think I've only recently cared to work on it. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's
so
fair.
You know, there's that. Only recently.
As long as prejudice is okay as long as you recognize that you have it.
Okay.
I wouldn't say racism, but if you like have a prejudice and you're just like, I had it happen with my old lawyer's friend who works in entertainment in Hollywood, my old music lawyer. And I walked into my lawyer's office one day and he was with his friend and they were talking about, he was just going on this thing about black people and how, he had nothing against black people and he just hated how they were treated in his country and blah, blah, blah. This is a long time ago.
He said nothing against black people.
He has nothing against them. He hates how they're treated in this country.
Oh, okay.
And then I said, you have nothing against black people? He said, no, I think you guys are great. I said, you have nothing against us. He was like, no.
Great.
And I said, okay, would you let me date your daughter? Now we're in person, so there's this physical.
Yeah.
And I see it, and he was like, damn, does that make me a bad person? I was like, no, you have a prejudice, and you need to figure out what that is.
Yeah.
Because you can say all this, I have nothing against them. I have a friend of mine who's white, and I said, if you're now they were just talking to each other. Well, they were boyfriend and girlfriend at the time, but they're married with a whole family now. But I asked him, I'm not going to say his name, but I said, if she cheated on you, would you forgive her? And he was like, man, it'd be really rough. I don't know if I could, but I would really try. And I said, okay, if she cheated on you with a black guy, would you forgive her? He was like, absolutely not.
Just no thought about it. That was his answer.
He was just being very honest. He was like, absolutely not. I said, what's the difference?
Right.
And he said, damn, man, what is the difference? And I said, it's okay if there's a difference.
Yeah.
I said, from a cultural standpoint, like if I'm dating a black woman, I won't say me, but I could see how if there was a black man who was dating a black woman and she cheated with a white guy, at the crux, you were cheated on. But if the guy were to say, I felt a level of betrayal, a different level of cultural betrayal, like I'm not saying I could get it. I understand where he's coming from. I'm not saying I completely am on the level with him, but I get it. Same as on the flip side. If you and I were dating and I was intimate with a white woman and you found out, when you came at me, when you found out about it and you decided to come at me about it, you would bring up her race. You absolutely would. Even if you didn't harbor on that point, you would say, you fuck around with that white girl? You know you would say that.
I'm sorry for the
you know you would. Because it's ingrained in us just a little bit.
It is.
And that prejudice is there just a little bit. But if you recognize it as there, I don't think there's a problem with it.
Yeah, because if you recognize it, then you can actually make a decision to do something different.
Sure.
So, yeah.
And he was just like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd let you date my daughter.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
Okay.
But you had to figure out why you have that.
Or in his mind, he just made an exception for you immediately. Like, as he thought it through, he's like, well, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's getting the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, so he just made that exception.
Well, you know why?
Also.
It's because in that moment, I'm one of the good ones.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I was like, so he could get himself to yes, and it was an honest yes.
I don't know if it was an honest yes. I feel like it was I need to save face. Yes.
Well, yeah.
I respect it though.
But he believed himself, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me take a bite of your apple now.
Are you going to?
Yeah.
You're not gonna like rinse it off? That's straight from the tree.
You didn't rinse it off before you gave it to me?
No, I literally got home 45 minutes before we were supposed to be here.
So there could be a worm in here.
I don't think so. There's no holes.
Maybe he got in.
What?
Maybe I'm trying to find something to say.
That's not how that works.
No, it's not. I've been watching too many cartoons. How many gingers are there again?
No.
All right, we'll wrap this up because you got to eat. We're not gonna do a final five because
why not?
We already did it.
You know what though? In the episode prior,
I'm gonna stop you right there.
Got it.
Best advice you've ever gotten was from your father. Say it again because I cut it out the first one.
First of all,
I know where you're going.
I don't like
with
your
that.
energy about that. Like,
why am I so loud?
Why are you so annoyed by it?
I'm not annoyed.
I mean, like,
I just want to cut you off and get it out because I knew where you were going. Actually, let me just point out that in that you edited it and you cut that out. So if you could put that back in.
First of all, it's wild that you take offense to me wanting to honor my father.
I'm not offended.
Especially given that other clip that you,
What, that a man taught you how to drive a stick? That's what happened. Men got to do everything around here.
God bless you.
Desmond, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Desmond sounds like a wonderful person. And I'm not even joking or trolling.
I mean, I think my dad is pretty top notch. He is a really great guy. And he is somebody who does a lot for other people without any expectation of anything in return. And I don't feel like the people that he helps recognize him enough. Honestly, I tell him all the time. And he's like, it's fine. Like, he doesn't care at all. Does not care because he just does it from a genuine spot in his heart. And I think that is so
sounds like a great person.
Rare these days.
Yeah,
So,
sounds like a great guy.
Dad, you'll never watch this, but that's how I feel about you.
That's so sweet. Go ahead and give the advice that he gave.
I feel like the way that you're presenting it is creating an energy that I'm not in love with.
Can you just give the advice that your father gave you so it'll help someone else?
I told y'all Rashad does not fuck with me.
Get out of your feelings. Can you just say it?
The advice he gave was you can do anything you want to do as long as you are willing to accept the consequences, good or bad. And so every decision, like major decision that honestly, any decision I make, I think about that. Like, okay, if this works out, can I deal with whatever the good things are that work out? If this doesn't work out, can I deal with that as well? And so it's easier to take risks sometimes in certain things and just in general be a slightly better person every single day.
I'm going to tell you, the first time you said that, and I cut it out of the episode inadvertently, it wasn't on purpose.
I didn't think so.
But now I will tell you this, in the interest of full transparency, I realized that I cut it out when I was doing the final five and I was watching it. And I was like, okay, how can you edit that back in?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think I can.
Yeah.
With there being a flow here. Maybe I just don't have the skill set.
Possibly. I think it would have been too much.
Yeah. But I knew that when you came back, I was like, all right, we're going to go back to that because we need to. And I will say this, the first time you said that, because I remember you obviously saying that before, I interpreted it differently than the way you said it just now.
How did you interpret the first time?
The first time was just like, when you do things, just accept the consequences. But the way you said it now was, to me, a lot more profound. And that you can do whatever you want, but just be ready for the good and the bad that's going to come with it.
Yeah.
I like to often tell people, if you open up, I'm pretty sure this is, I did not come up with this. I know for a fact I didn't come up with this. I heard this somewhere. But if you open up that can of worms, you have to be ready for the dirt that comes with it.
Yeah.
Like, anything that you want to do, I'm not a big fan of people saying, oh, well, I can't do this, I can't do that. Yeah, you can. Like, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You just have to be very mindful of consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, a lot of people aren't. There's a very large lack of accountability.
Oh my.
Like, and it's not even like a gender specific thing. By the way, how many genders are there?
I'm going to fight you after the show.
It's not a gender specific thing. I'll tell you this, speaking just from my perspective, and I'm sure men do a functional equivalent of this. And I'm pretty sure you could tell me what it is. But you talk about accountability. Women love to not do their part in a courtship and then put it all on the man.
Mm-hmm.
And then say, if I asked you out, like hypothetically, if I asked you out on a date
mm-hmm.
and you said, I can't, I'm not in town.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, cool. And then I say, hey, are you free next weekend? And you say, oh, well, I'm doing X, Y, and Z.
At some point, I should just offer you my availability.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. We weren't going to get quite there, but that's true.
To me, in my brain, like that's right. The way.
Now, let's say hypothetically you didn't.
Okay.
And then I just got tired of asking you.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say I spin the block. Hey, maybe some time goes by. Hey, Camille, how are you? And you say, oh, to what do I owe this pleasure? Some old goofy bullshit like that.
First of all.
Some old passive aggressive, old goofy bullshit. Don't fucking talk to me like that. Women love doing that shit. They love to talk down to you.
First of all, I feel like you are like pew pew, because I guarantee you I probably said that to you before.
I'm sure you have. But it wasn't in that scenario, so I don't care. To what do I owe this? But yeah, yo, passive aggressive ass. I said shit like that to me before. But it wasn't rooted in you being like, it wasn't you not having accountability for something.
Okay.
So like, yeah, you've said goofy shit like that before, but it was funny. And it was fun. It was you being sassy.
So it was goofy shit.
So it wasn't like I wasn't tripping. But in the scenario that I gave, yes, if you were to say like, oh, to what do I owe this pleasure? And I'm just like, oh, well, I hit you up before.
Mm-hmm.
And, nothing ever came from it. So I just thought I'd reach out to you again. And if you wrote back to me a fucking dissertation about how, well, you went ghost and there was no effort and there was no explanation. And in my life right now, I'm looking for real connections. If you can't tell, this is a real life scenario.
That's clear, love.
Yeah.
That's clear.
I'm looking for real connections and connections that mean something. Women love to do that shit. They'll gaslight the fuck out of you when it comes to stuff like that. Just like women will gaslight you when they want the same access to you when they tell you they want to just be friends. Women love to do that. Hey, Rashad, this has not happened to me in a long time, but hey, Rashad, I just want to be friends. Okay, cool. Hey, are we still getting together this weekend? No, I got stuff to do. Oh, so you don't get your way and that's how you act. No, you change the dynamic of our relationship. You don't get the same access to me because you're not a romantic interest of mine anymore. There's a softness and openness I have for a romantic interest that I don't have with people who aren't there. That's special. It's reserved for people. Oh, so these are your true colors. Don't gaslight me. That shit don't work.
That's ugly.
Like, don't gaslight me.
That's ugly. That's ugly. It
does not work.
Yeah, no, that's ugly.
But there are people, and men do this too, by the way, who like to dictate.
Shock.
All right. Who like to dictate the terms of your relationship on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me you only see me as a friend and then still want me to come take you to dinner and still want me to come physically protect you. That's not how that works.
Mm.
A man can't say, yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm trying to figure my life out. But, we can still be cool and kick it. We can still fuck, right? No, you don't have access to her body anymore. That's how that works. She was one of the guys y'all working towards something romantically. Now that you're not, you don't still get to do it with her.
Well, I was just trying to be honest with you, because y'all women say you want honesty.
Honesty doesn't change the reality, dickhead. Men do that a lot. You say you want honesty? Yeah. And just like when I was younger with women, it was just like, I don't give you a pass for doing what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be honest. It's refreshing and it's nice because you get used to people who aren't honest.
Mm-hmm.
But no, well, women say they want honesty. And don't get me wrong, there are women who say they want honesty and they really don't.
Correct.
They really do not. I just want you to be more direct. Okay, I want to go home with you and have sex with you. Oh my God, does that work? What do you want? Do you want finesse or no finesse? Do you want me to be terse and direct, or do you want me to beat around the bush?
You can have finesse and be honest. You don't think?
No, I absolutely agree with that.
Oh, okay.
But what I'm saying is, if you're asking me, I just wish men were just more direct, said exactly what they wanted, and then I do, and you're just like,
I mean, but do you feel like the way you just made that statement of like, I want to take you home and fuck you is
that's not what I said.
What did you say?
I didn't say I want to take you home and fuck you. You heard what you wanted to hear, and that is the problem.
I just paraphrased it for you.
See? And you paraphrase it in your head, and that's how we get into the situation.
Okay,
right
what did
here.
you say? You said,
I want to take you home and get naked with you. That's not what
you said either.
Oh, so you did hear what I said.
I mean, I know it wasn't get naked because that's a different thing.
Yes, it is. I can't see the time code, but I think we're about it. We're about at the end. This is a great way. This is a great way to end this.
Was it?
It is.
That's wild. This felt short.
It did. And I hate that I can't see the time code because I haven't been drinking enough carrot juice and my blood pressure's too high. So
Would you like me to tell you what it says?
No, it's fine. I got an idea.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're good.
Did we talk about anything?
Who cares?
I do.
We talked about
like a lot of your guests have had very interesting conversations, and
so have we. We've had the best ones.
I don't remember.
Well, that's because you do all that ice. Anyway, Camille, thank you so much for coming back.
You're welcome.
And it was great that you gave that advice that your father gave, because I like that a lot.
I'm so glad.
Desmond is a brilliant man.
He's amazing.
You should call him and see how he's doing.
I will not.
Well, not now.
Okay.
It's in general. Call your father.
I talk to him at least once a week. At minimum once a week.
That's good.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you so much for coming back.
You're welcome. I hope it was everything you needed it to be.
I hope your fries are still.
Let me tell you something. I'm waiting until we
wrap
the show.
What if I go outside and like a raccoon and got into him? I bet you would just shoo him away and then pick the food back up.
Do you think I'm a scavenger for French fries?
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Rashad wants to fight after the show.
Keep going.
Got it.
Keep going.